One coach said he doesn't touch the ball much, but every touch feels dangerous. When Haaland was a kid, he used to fall asleep listening to the Champions League anthem. Scouts once thought he was too rough and not technical enough to become elite. During his teenage years, his body grew so fast that he temporarily struggled with coordination. Haaland reportedly focused heavily on sleep quality and recovery long before becoming world famous. Some teammates called him the Viking monk because of his calm personality and meditation habits. He spent hours repeating finishing drills until scoring became automatic. At Salzburg, he went from an unknown teenager to one of Europe's most feared strikers in just months. Defenders say the scariest thing about Haaland isn't his strength, it's his movement and timing. Despite his massive frame, his sprint speed is comparable to elite wingers. Haaland often checks his expected goal stats right after matches to study missed chances. Manchester City's system suited him perfectly because he can dominate games with very few touches. One coach said he doesn't touch the ball much, but every touch feels dangerous. July 21st, 2000. In Leeds, England, a future goal machine was born. His name, Erling Braut Haaland. Growing up with Norwegian roots, Haaland developed into a striker unlike anything defenders were used to facing. At 1.95 meters tall, he has the physical presence of a giant, yet the speed and movement of a much smaller player. A natural left-footer, he combines power, precision, and relentless finishing. As his reputation grew across Europe, the biggest clubs took notice. Then, in July 2022, Manchester City secured one of football's most dangerous forwards. The impact was immediate. Goals came. Records followed. Managed by super agent Rafaela Pimenta and partnered with Nike, Haaland quickly became one of the faces of modern football. And Manchester City made sure their future was tied to his, extending his deal until June 2034. At just 25 years old, Haaland has already achieved what many players dream of for an entire career. Yet every season brings the same question. How many records can he break before it's all over? Long before Manchester City, Erling Haaland was already making football history. At the FIFA U20 World Cup, he scored an incredible 9 goals in a single match, a record that still stands. Soon after, he became the first player in Champions League history to score 6 goals in his first 3 appearances. Then he arrived in Germany and made Bundesliga history by scoring 5 goals in his first 2 games. His rise was so remarkable that when he left Molde, the transfer deal even included a 15% resale clause worth millions. Football has always been part of his life. His father, Erling Haaland, was a professional footballer, while his cousins Jonathan Brun and Albert Haaland also chose the same path. For Erling Haaland, breaking records didn't start at the top. In 2017, Haaland's journey started at Brine's Youth Academy in 2015. In 2017, he earned his first professional move to Brine's senior team. Just 2 years later, Molde signed him, where his talent began attracting attention across Europe. In 2019, Austrian side Salzburg paid €8 million to bring him in. After exploding onto the Champions League stage, Borussia Dortmund secured his signature in January 2020 for €20 million. Then came the biggest move of all. In 2022, Manchester City signed Haaland for €60 million. From Brine to Manchester City, every transfer was a step toward becoming one of football's most feared strikers. Haaland's rise in market value has been just as impressive as his goal-scoring record. For years, his value remained relatively low while developing in Norway. But after his breakthrough at Salzburg and Dortmund, it skyrocketed from just a few million euros to over €150 million in only a couple of seasons. His move to Manchester City pushed him to another level, and today his market value stands at an incredible €200 million. That makes Erling Haaland the most valuable footballer in the world. He's ranked number 1 among all players worldwide. Number 1 in the Premier League. Number 1 at Manchester City. Number 1 among all Norwegian players. Number 1 among all center forwards. And number 1 among every player born in the year 2000. From a young prospect in Norway to the most valuable striker on the planet, Haaland's growth has been nothing short of extraordinary.